Hello! Hi guys! Kamusta? My name is Jen. We're here in our YouTube channel to bring together. Ayan, medyo matagal-tagal na naman tayong hindi nakapagkwentuhan. Busy na naman ulit kami. Saka, syempre, gahanap-hanap din ng hanap buhay. Actually, I'm feeling a little bit upset. I had 3 interviews and yet all of them were unsuccessful. Ayun, so, while we have time, I'm making this video to share with you working application tips, things to consider when applying for a job here in Australia. Pagkwentuhan natin yan. So, tara! So, actually, I was thinking to make this video once I already got the job or at least have a positive feedback from an employer. So, nahihiya lang din ako kasi syempre wala naman akong work. Tapos, advice ako ng ganito. So, I was also thinking, why should I wait for that time? Iniisip ko rin kasi baka pag nagka-work na, mabusy na, so I might not be able to give time to do videos and to edit videos. So, maybe this is the perfect time for me to share stories. Anyway, like I've mentioned before, I am not the best person to advise with regards to work application. Just sharing some of my personal experiences which might be beneficial to my fellow working applicants. Of course, we'd love to hear more suggestions, those who are already having their jobs. And hopefully, we can hear from you. Sabay-sabay tayong matuto. So, just a brief intro of myself. Although, of course, we don't want to compare experiences. Kanya-kanya naman tayong mga stories. Baka lang kasi may mga nakikinig na mga hiring managers. Pwede po kaming mag-apply sa inyo. Personally, I work in the Philippines for almost 5 years. Feeling ko, interview to. I was assigned in a medical surgical unit. After that, I applied for a nursing position in Singapore. Ayan, may mga stories din ako dyan kung paano ako din as a nurse in Singapore. And I was assigned in a cardiology ward. I was bonded for 4 years. Under agency kasi ako nag-start sa Singapore. I finished my contract. I moved to another hospital. Heart center clinic siya. And then there's also a Cath Lab, cardiocatheter laboratory rotation. I'm just very thankful to Bernice, who was my manager at that time. Even though I don't have any Cath Lab background, she still accepted me and gave me a chance to work with them. I do have a lot of mentors there. Hi Ida, and all the doctors there, and the rest of the gang. So hello. Spent there for a year, and then we moved here in Australia. We do not have any family members here. When we moved here, I did not work. I have a working gap of more than 2 years. So I started processing my AFRA application. Ayan, meron din akong mga stories dyan guys with regards to my journey on becoming a registered nurse here in Australia. Pati yung iron program, bridging program experience ko. So, I received my AFRA registration 2018. Hindi pa ako nag-apply kaagad nun. Kasi, ayan, inuna namin yung bakasyon. Nagbakasyon muna kami nun sa Philippines. Although I know some of my friends actually started applying even before they received the AFRA registration. Actually, even before we finished the bridging program, some of my friends have already started their application. I think they just indicated in their cover letter that the AFRA registration is pending. And fortunately, some of them were able to find company that sponsored working visa. So one of the questions is, how do we start applying? Important thing, prepare a short and concise curriculum vitae. Personally, my CV is a 3-page curriculum vitae, as brief and short as possible, but of course, not omitting the most important details. My name, contact number, my address. Of course, you include your work history from the current date, educational history, things that you need that are relevant to the position that you are applying to. We don't need to include the age, the gender, race, height and weight, legal status. Kasi sa Pinas sa atin, yung hobbies. That's my picture. Aside from the curriculum vitae, it's also good to make a cover letter, smart, professional summary of how I introduce myself to the hiring manager. I have read and fully understand the work position that I am applying to. And I also include in the cover letter working experience which coincides with the position. For applicants like me, some of us may just apply on every job post that we see. Personally, I just try to prioritize job posts that I have an experience. Although, even though we don't have any experience on that particular area, it's still good to at least try. But make sure that we indicate in our cover letter that we do not have any experience on this area, but I'm very interested with the new learnings if you would allow me. What are the websites that we can look for job posts and send applications? I usually go to seek.com.au, indeed.au.com, LinkedIn. What I usually do is I make a profile on these different job platforms, or I can actually link my LinkedIn profile, or you can also read the job post, and then usually at the end of the job post they would indicate there you can send your application in this email. Another question is, what's the time frame of the application? Based on my personal experience, I had different timelines, case-to-case basis. It depends on the hospital or the company. Some of the companies do not reply. So first time I applied was last year. I didn't have much trouble. I sent my application directly to the hiring manager. I was contacted and told me that I was for interview. She called me Friday and then I was for interview Monday. When I went for the interview, it surprised me because I was already hired after the interview, so it was actually quick. That was my first job here in Australia. I'm gonna tell you another story, what to expect during your first job here in Australia. Mahababa kwento na to eh. The advices that I can give to you, do not be easily sugar-coated with people saying there's a lot of work here in Australia. There's a lot of work, but bear in mind there are also massive applicants. I was also thinking that probably because I don't have that extensive experience, you may or may not have an experience. Still all depends on the company. From my previous interviews, some companies actually hired staff who do not have any experience on that specific area, and yet they still accept the. For those who are not holding any working visa or permanent residency, it doesn't mean you are not prioritized. Some companies don't rely on the visa. It's case-to-case basis. While waiting, I highly suggest don't expect, do not rely on one application. You look for other companies. If you are really keen to get that first job, accept the first offer. At least you are already safe that you will be having a job. And anyway, eventually, if you have already that experience, then you can eventually move or transfer to another hospital you would want to. If you're planning to look for another job, don't resign right away. That's actually my fault. A lot of our friends have already advised us not to resign right away because I haven't found any other hospitals that would hire me. Due to family reasons and personal reasons, I still resigned my previous job. I actually thought I could easily find another job because I already have an experience. It didn't happen. I even tried to apply those that are quite far from my place. It will take me 2 hours via train and bus. So she was actually concerned with the distance and with my travel time. And then I also had another experience. First interview went well. The director even showed me to the rooms and even introduced me to the staff. It already felt like it was my orientation day. Then the director told me that she will call me back, she will email me back. A few days after that, I received an email for a second interview. I was actually expecting that I would already sign the contract. I didn't know that it was actually a panel interview, and honestly I wasn't prepared. Thankfully, that second interview went well again. I received another email asking me for a third interview, and the third interview because at that time we were having trouble with the child arrangements with Marshall. They would want the staff to work as a full-time. During that time, I wasn't ready yet to work full-time. That's actually one of our family challenge here in Australia, looking for someone to look after Marshall while both working. And then I had another interview. Again, the interview went well. After a few weeks, they said they would be reference check, but after 2 weeks, I received an email saying that unfortunately, you are not considered for this position at this moment. For those applicants like me who are still receiving declined applications, it's probably not our time yet. Just keep on trying. Maybe we still need to double our efforts, reflect on application process. As long as we know that we are doing our best, maybe trying other applications and not really focusing on a specific area. Like for me, I tend to focus on the Cath Lab position. Sabi sa akin ni Dada, baka ano lang akong kahirapan ni Lord. The best thing we can do is to pray. Probably God is preparing something better for us. Iniisip ko na nga lang baka ito muna yung trabaho ko. Yung magkwento ng mga stories namin. So, marami-rami pa tayong pagkakwentuhan ulit. Bigyan natin ng time yan habang wala pa akong trabaho. Guys, I also have a video of sample nursing interview questions that you might want to check out. Thank you for taking time to read our stories and for watching our videos. And we love to share more information, inspiring stories. Have any stories that you would like us to share? And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to message us on our Facebook page. And don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. You might want to check out our website, www.tobringtogether.com. Thank you! Kwentuhan ulit tayo next time. Ayan, nandito na si Marshall. Bye!
Mommy? Mommy?